Hi, this is Jacqueline from Empower and Thrive Hub. Thank you for joining me. We are looking at the right to rent immigration check for those people who are traveling to the United Kingdom from anywhere in the world. There is now a right to rent immigration check. Many of you may know it. For those of you who are coming to the United Kingdom for the first time or are planning to come here, this is the information regarding renting, private renting that you will be looking for. There are requirements. Things have changed significantly. Many years ago, at least around the time that I would have been looking for um, to rent a place, I didn't get asked for an immigration status. I did get asked for an ID to prove it, but I did not get asked for an immigration status. That is now the case, and I believe it is part and parcel of the government trying to make sure that everything is streamlined and that people are legally entitled to and allowed to actually rent and have the right status. I'm going to go through what they will ask you for and what you will need to actually prove and who are the people that are entitled to. You will be asked for a passport or any immigration document. So anything that can show your status, it could even be a letter for indefinite leave, right to remain in the UK, it may be a CUS visa or anything that pertains to your your right to actually be in the United Kingdom. A share code, which is it lets somebody check your immigration status. So you give that share code which you obtain online on the government site, .gov.uk site, I believe it is, and they give you a share code which you then pass on to either your employer or, in this case, the landlord who you'll be, renting from. No checks can be made on the video, or they also won't be able to accept any scanned copies. Anybody, any adult that's going to actually start a tenancy can would fall within this category. If you're also renting a room to a lodger, these are the well, rather these are now the people that have to actually ask for the person who's coming to rent, and they need to put it in writing. Now, discrimination, whether we like it or not, it does exist, and that's unfortunate. So the landlords themselves are not allowed to actually discriminate against you because of your race, because of your color, because of your religion, because of your sexual orientation, even. They are not allowed to discriminate against you. And if you pick up and sense or see that you're being discriminated against, it's against the law, and you could actually report it. And even your whether you speak English or not, or your accent, they can't discriminate against you because of that. Now, the people that have the right to rent, we are going to look at them now. These are British or Irish citizens, those with indefinite leave to remain (ILR), refugee status or humanitarian protection, settled, those people who are settled or pre-settled, or with pre-settled status under the EU settlement scheme. They have permission to be in the UK, for example, or they are at work or student on a student visa, and a time limited right to rent granted by the Home Office. So the Home Office might give certain individuals, a time limited right to rent. Now, for those people who are coming from Ukraine because of war, they do have the right to rent as long as the Home Office has given them permission to stay in UK. For example, they're under the Ukraine Family Scheme or Ukraine Sponsorship Scheme. Those are allowed. For those who are seeking asylum, they do not have the right to rent, but they could seek support and get some kind of housing, temporary housing, through the asylum support scheme because they have nowhere to live. And that could be some of the hotels that, for instance, they actually, put people in when they arrive, for instance. Now, if your visa or leave to remain ends within a year, then your landlord must do a follow-up check after a year if you still live there, that is. If you have a visa or leave to remain for more than a year, your landlord must do a follow-up before that. I've covered the documents that they will ask you: a British Irish citizenship, a current or even an expired passport, actually, or a certificate of registration or naturalization. There is a full list of documents to be used, and again, there will be a link to all those in the comments. I beg your pardon, in the description area. Description possibly, and or both the comment area as well. Now, with the share code can be a bit tricky, because I've known of people who have tried to get a share code and it couldn't. It says that you can still use your passport immigration document, um, and again, it shows your home office permission to be in the UK. If it shows it, that's fine, and the landlord will take copies of it. If you cannot pass the right to rent check, um, the landlord does not have to give you a tenancy. They don't have to. If you fail a follow-up check, your landlord must tell the home office. The home office will ask you to prove your status in case there has been a mistake. Your landlord does not have to end your tenancy unless told by the home office. So if let's say you've already got tenancy, and for some reason it comes up that um, it would have been hard for you to get the tenancy anyway without those details, the proof of your right to be in the UK. But if, for instance, you're in a housing already, and for some reason you're asked for your details and you can't prove it, the landlord does not necessarily have to end your tenancy. And for some people, they may end up going through evictions through the court. Let's say you're on a visa and your visa ended and you're already a tenant, and they decided to check your documents to see if you are you have the right to live in the UK. If they then find that you no longer have to, they could contact the home office, and you could be going to court for eviction. You may get a notice, and the minimum notice you could get before court action is 2 weeks. And this only happens if your landlord uses Section 8 notice. Yeah. They can only do this if the home office tells them that somebody in your home does not have the right to rent. But most private landlords use the Section 21 eviction process. If you're the tenant and you have a right to rent, you could negotiate with the landlord. For example, you could ask to stay on if the person with no right to rent can leave. So I'm not going to go too much into the process of eviction because that wasn't the topic here. Another disclaimer that I'd like to make at the end of this video now is that I am not a lawyer, and I am not an immigration lawyer or anything like that. So it's always good to get advice from immigration lawyers or other lawyers. I am simply somebody who has an interest in immigration, who would like to pass on information, who has an interest in some topics to do with politics, for instance. I am somebody who just wants to help and doing videos. So that's the disclaimer. I hope that you found this video useful. If you've got any questions, Please leave your comments. I'll try my best to answer them or to redirect you to a site where you can find further information. Please do like and subscribe. Help this channel grow, and so that I can bring other information. If I can see that people are interested in certain topics, I can then come on and bring further information on them. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Until next time, God bless you.